Hello everybody and welcome back to Casual Gamer Oz. We're continuing our F1 2016 career mode. We're in Season 2, Race 2. We're at the Bahrain International Circuit and we're about to head into qualifying. And just a reminder though of what happened in our opening round of Season 2. Terrible qualifying, it was raining, made a wide turn and basically decided to deliberately crash out just because I could and I wasn't going to do very well because that's what I do in life apparently. Got a pretty decent start, made my way up into 11th position off the back, so basically half the field done in the first lap. Ran wide, allowed two Williams to get past me before running wide again, and that allowed Carlos Sainz to attempt a pretty lazy move on me and spinning me out, crashed me out of the race, and DNF in race 1 of Season 2. We're here into Bahrain, and good news, it's dry, although it's very, very grey, so as you can see there, that might not bode well for the race day, but this is a circuit, of course, which last season I managed to get 7th place on the grid, a shock qualifying in only my 2nd Grand Prix, and I'm confident here that I can replicate that or go even better. And I don't really need to talk too much about Sakhir. Obviously in my last video in Season 1 I talked about how pretty much boring this race is, nothing spectacular about it at all, but for some reason I did okay. So let's see if we can replicate that at the moment. I'm on pole position pace as of right now, so good start here for young Waterworth in his Sauber. Of course, 2 pole positions last year, so he's a pretty decent qualifier, and we'll see if he can translate this. Now this is meant to be a night race, and qualifying here taking part under extremely dark cloudy skies, but I'm not seeing any darkness. Put the DRS on there, Ben. What are you doing? Pay attention. It's allowed Hamilton to get ahead of you there. I think I did that last year, did I not? Just lack of concentration, as often is the case by myself. This is a corner last year where I ran into this guy in front of me. Of course, I had yellow flag, damaged front wing. He'd spun off and I didn't see him, ran wide slightly, and bang, I smacked into the back of him. And it was my first DNF in my career last year. But we'll see how we go this time around. I don't think I'm going to be able to get 7th. I'm in 7th at the moment, but I think I'm going to drop down to about 9th. I'm in 9th there at the moment. Coming down the main straight, put the DRS on, Ben. Thank you. I got 9th. Okay, top 10. I'll take it. Not as good as last year, but still, it's a lot better than we did in Australia. So hopefully, we can replicate that moving then into race day tomorrow. Alrighty, so let's do this and let's move in. Now I think we should have enough to be able to upgrade our car a little bit, so let's just go into the R&D phase of the laptop, and we'll give it a little bit of an upgrade on the drag system because that's what we're focusing on. Obviously you're only going to see 2 seasons of this before we do get into F1 2017, so not going to be able to see it go out there quite as much. We're ahead of Hulkenberg at that point, that's a positive. And it looks like it'll be a sunny race, another positive. We're out in the desert. So that would be a bit rare if it wasn't. So let's select the upgrade. And that's going to give us small, more efficient brake ducts, can reduce drag whilst channeling the same amount of airflow to brakes. Ensuring cooling is not compromised. That sounds pretty important. So there we go. That is perfect. Let's go to the race here, folks. Again, a DNF last year in Bahrain. Just damaged my front wing, and I remember struggling around with it a little bit. It was making out some ground actually, but coming into that sweeping right-hander towards the back of the circuit, I ran wide and didn't realise it was Hamilton, spun off and just smashed into the back of him, so I was out on the spot. Alright, grid. How has the McLaren's gone here this time around? We have a Rosberg, Hamilton front row, Ricciardo, Vettel. Well, the McLaren's aren't even in the top 4, so after winning the last race, they've dropped back a little bit. They like the wet, apparently. Raikkonen, Verstappen, they're well down. 7th and 8th there for McLaren's. There I am in 9th, Perez in 10th, Hulkenberg 11th, Bottas 12th. Grosjean out-qualifies Gutierrez where he should be. Massa well down in 14th. Gutierrez 15th. Sainz 16th. Magnussen, Kvyat well down. The Toro Rosso struggling. Palmer 19th. Verline and Haryanto struggling 20th, 21st. And Nasser dead last while I'm in 9th. So go figure. The only non-pole position from a Mercedes in the first season was by me. So the computer just every time qualifies. It's a Mercedes. Anyway, let's concentrate on this, Ben. Come on. Let's do this. Let's actually get a decent result. And I've got a fairly okay start here. Looks like I should at least get Alonso. I'm going to have to brake early, run myself a little bit wide there to avoid Kimi. Now, overtaking Button, I would strongly disagree with that. But anyway, I don't want to get myself a penalty and I don't want to take anyone out. So I'll just concede that position. There's a yellow flag. I can't overtake. Oh, I can now. Oh, gee, that put me off. I should have been able to take both the McLarens there, but had to slow down for the yellow flag. Again, don't want to get myself a penalty because that just generally haunted me a few times last season. And these McLarens, obviously very good in the wet, but the dry, not quite where they want to be. Now we're coming up to this corner, the only memorable one I think of this entire circuit, where I damaged my front wing at this point last season, and this is kind of effectively where my race was over. But maintain that one. That's good. All right. Good start here, Ben. So overtaking possibility coming up here into this left-hander. I'm just a little bit too far back. And we'll just trail these two McLarens into the Ben Waterworth Memorial corner here. That's what we'll call it moving forward. The one thing I will say about Bahrain, for the boring circuit that it is, it's just not damaging on drivers in terms of you can easily run wide here and you're not going to get punished for it. So it's kind of, it doesn't really serve as much of a challenge if you kind of stuff up heading into a corner, you know. So it's one thing I'll say about it. Now I've got Perez getting racy against me, and I should pull away from him slightly. Whack it into rich mode, as always. We've got a decent fuel tank on this Sauber. I'm getting some ground here on Alonso, so the Ferrari engine on my car is a little bit more powerful than that Honda, but I'm going to outbrake myself. And that makes a dog's breakfast out of it. Perez, oh, you little sneaky Mexican. He's going to sneak one around me there, but yeah, that's the danger, isn't it? That's what happened in Australia. I outbrake myself, caused myself to lose some ground, and then before you know it, I had a very aggressive car behind me. So, okay. We're going to just focus here on these two McLarens. Currently in 9th place, so I haven't actually lost any positions off the starting line. Still in the points. And look who's just gone up into 10th, folks. It's my frenemy, Felipe Massa, not my teammate Nazar. And oh no, Perez has got him back. So you stay ahead of him, Perez. I don't think you and I had any coming together last year. Whereas that certain Brazilian that you're racing with, he likes my bottom, I think, Felipe Massa. He's very attracted to this Australian's tushy. Alright. I've got to get attracted to these McLaren's tushies because I'm not letting him get away. I've got Alonso in front of me. The winner of the last Grand Prix again, just not necessarily there. I'm pulling away from Perez now. That's a positive sign. If I just don't outbrake myself in any of these corners, I should easily be able to get them. Got a bit of pace on this Sauber. I'm liking it. I'm liking the feel of the car. Hopefully the upgrades will work even better. DRS is enabled, so we'll get closer to these two in front of me, and that should bode well. Okay. Don't outbrake yourself into turn one. You do it right this time. Good job, Alonso. Very racy with his teammate, and he's going to have me to contend with very, very shortly. Nearly at the halfway point of this course. Remember, 5-lap races. Racing line. Yes, I know. It's frustrating for all you pro gamers. Should also mention that I'm using the controller. I'm sure you probably picked up on that during my first season. But I don't use a wheel. So there's another thing too that frustrate people, and it's on automatic transmission. Very casual gamer. So yes, we get it. Now I've set a purple first sector. So doing okay. Coming into this section, we know, and I'm going to have DRS here. Perfect. Okay, so we'll whack it open. This time I remember. Alonso will get it too though on button. Is he going to take a move on his teammate there? No, he's not. I'm going to get it closer and just keep riding these two out. I think I can get 7th in this Grand Prix. The only points finish I've gotten outside of my 2 podiums last year, of course, was 9th in Germany. I actually did finish 7th on track. Or was I 6th on track from memory? I think I was 6th maybe. But of course I had that bullshit penalty. So, and once again too, it should be night time. But oh, Alonso's having a go up button. Is he going to make it stick? Is he going to make it stick? He does. Good move there by Alonso and his teammate. Great work. Now I should get DRS here. So will Button. And let's see how we go. Now they've both taken to the inside there. Very interesting, leaving me right on the racing line, and you're not going to come straight across on me, are you, two McLarens? Because I'm just going to go around the outside of it if you're going to leave me a gap like that. Thank you very much. Oh, I've taken out Alonso, and has he taken out his teammate? Now, that's almost penalty worthy. That, to me... Well, I was just listening to the radio there from Jeff. I thought he was going to warn me about something, but that, to me, is more penalty worthy than a lot of the penalties I got last season. And I've clearly taken both the McLarens out of... well, not out of the race, they're still in the race, but... Perez has now jumped up into 8th position. Well, that's one way of making sure that you're not going to have danger behind you. And now I can try and catch little old Maxi Verstappen in front of me. Well, that was very interesting. We'll definitely take a look at that after the race. But, yeah, that's the consistency of this game. To me, I probably cut in on Alonso there and probably almost deserve a penalty. But having said that, I did, I guess, have the racing line and I couldn't see him. And they were well off the line there. They were very interesting positioning on that main straight by the McLarens. So, from winning in Australia to, I would say, probably not getting any points here in Bahrain. And they will be disappointed with that, the McLarens. But I'm not here to make them happy. I'm here to make me happy. Obviously, not happy after my first result. And some promise here last year. And looks likely, if I can maintain this on the final lap, that I'm on for some points here. And again, as I said in Albert Park, want to outscore myself last season. I got 35 points last season, 2 podiums, a second, a third, and a ninth. So it's only 3 points finishes. So I'll be a third of the way here if I can maintain this. Final lap. Final lap in Bahrain. There's that damage on that opening corner there from the McLarens. Now, as we've talked about a little bit before, F1 2017, if I run over that, I risk myself getting a puncture there. So kind of got to not make sure that I am a bit more cautious doing that when F1 2017 comes out. Looks like Verstappen's overtaken Raikkonen there, so these two are having a little fight front. It'd be nice if they took each other out, and that would make things very easy for me, because I don't think I'm going to have enough time to catch them. If I had another lap, I think I could, but I mean, I'm catching them, but I'm not going to get any opportunity to overtake, and particularly if I run wide like that. I'm definitely not. I'm only expected to finish in the top 17, so I'm going to be 10 places at least of where they wanted me to finish. So good start. I'm not going to get DRS here, but we'll I'm still satisfied if we can keep this 7th place. I'll take it very much so. And I'm sorry for the McLaren fans watching this if you're frustrated that I took your boys out. Again, very interesting positioning. Whoa, don't bin it, Ben. Oh jeez, I'm just getting a bit airy here. Meanwhile, at the front, we're about to have a race winner. I'm going to assume it's... I'm going to go with Hamilton. Let's guess Hamilton will win this race. Those four look very close while looking down at my map. Crossing the line, it is going to be Ricciardo! Wow! Danny Rick! A Mercedes is yet to win a Grand Prix this year. Well. And we'll take 7th. I'm more shocked at the fact that Daniel Ricciardo won this Grand Prix. But 7th place, good job. I'm satisfied with that. I will take it. So will the Red Bull team. What a result by Danny Rick. And there you go. Okay, let's take a bit of a look at the start here. And you'll see, of course, that I had to run myself wide, essentially, to avoid running into the back of a Ferrari. So you can see me there just behind Raikkonen. He'll brake about there, and I have to take avoiding action, go through a Golf air sign. Now, apparently they reckon I've overtaken Jenson Button off the circuit. So I've slowed down to let them through. It's only about there that I've got them all stuff here. I'm going to have to accelerate through here. I would still like to say that I did not. But anyway, we'll fast forward this one through. You'll see Perez getting a bit racy with me at one point. And again, if you've never watched one of these videos before and wondering why I don't just edit this bit out, I like the fun of this. It's kind of interesting. That's where I arrived. That's my little incident with Perez. That wasn't really too groundbreaking. Meanwhile, he was battling with the Williams there. But you're going to see at the end of this lap, if I'm not mistaken, it was the end of this lap, the McLarens and their little incident. As we get closer and closer, and you should see Alonso. It must be the lap after this. It is the lap after this. Alright, we're getting there. La-di-da-di-da. So how's your day, folks? Good, awesome, great. Just fast forwarding this video for you. Da-da-da-da. This is extremely entertaining. Well, there you go. I didn't crash out of that corner this year. That's a good thing. Alright, so into this final corner, Alonso overtakes Button. Alright, so then they both go to the right-hand side. It's almost like they're saying, Ben, would you like a position? Please, take 7th from us. We're going to battle it on the right-hand side near the pit wall. So then they sort of come across. I've got the racing line. As we come into the corner here, Alonso has a look. Oh, I tell you what. I don't know. I think that I had the racing line and I couldn't see him. So right there, I've got the racing line. The only way I've got to go is to turn right. Alonso thinks he's got it, and meanwhile Button's in the background. I've turned in, and look at the gap just closing. Now, I guess Alonso's got nowhere to go, but I can't see him. So off he pops into the path of Jenson Button. That's his. Let's go on board with Alonso and see what how he would have seen it. And you can be the judge of this incident. So, again, I've come out of nowhere. I've just turned into my line. And, yeah, look, that's just one of those racing incidents. I'm ahead. So, I guess Button will be the one on board. We'll ride with this in normal speed. You're going to see me sweep to the left now. And then just... Oh... Well, Button, interestingly, just broke there. It's just kind of strange how we just decided to plant it there. Anyway, okay, well, I'm happy with 7th. I'll take it. Ricciardo wins by 1/100th of a second, too. Good job. 1/10th, I should say. Rosberg in 2nd, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, Raikkonen, myself, Perez in 8th, Bottas 9th, Massa in 10th. McLaren ended up finishing 11th and 12th. So there you go. Championship-wise, Rosberg leads by a point over Ricciardo. Danny Rick, 2nd place. Hamilton in 3rd. Alonso drops to 4th. Verstappen 5th. Vettel 6th. 7th Raikkonen. I'm in 8th. My top 10 position is looking good right now. Perez in 9th. Button in 10th. Constructors, Mercedes lead it ahead of Red Bull, who move up into 2nd. Ferrari move up into 3rd. McLaren drop down to 4th. Force India in 5th. We're in 6th. Ahead of Williams and Toro Rosso. Manor, Renault and Haas all yet to score. Thank you for joining us here for Bahrain. 7th position. I'll take it. Very happy with that. We're into China next. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, everything else in the meantime. Thank you for tuning in to Casual Gamer Oz, and we will speak to you next time wherever you are watching us from.